Hi guys, how are you today? I hope it's a good day for you. I thought I'd pop in and say hi. I've got a new quilt going. I'm ironing fabrics and just kind of hanging out, thinking about what to do next. This is going to be a curtain. I have one window where the sun really comes in at certain times of day, and I just like something a little darker to cover it, but won't block out all the light because I have plants there that live there that need the light. So I thought I'd be doing a little ironing today and talking to you guys. I did start a new quilt. I was going to start a fish quilt for my grandbabies. For each of those, I just couldn't work out the pattern. I just didn't like what I had going, so I put that away and I started working on another quilt. I have a pattern that I've drawn up. This is the pattern. It has squares that are supposed to look like they're floating, and then moons behind it, and then the rest will be all dark and gray and black. So I'll show you some of the fabrics as we go through the ironing process. So let me finish this one. So I haven't been feeling good. I haven't been feeling good for a long time now. A lot of it is stress. It's just plain stress. And that stress, it causes your muscles to tighten up, and it leads to more pain, and then the pain leads to exhaustion. And there's nothing I can do to alleviate this stress. It's family issues, and there's nothing I can really do about the situation. But it's a dog. But that creates a lot of stress for me. I miss my family, and that missing just, it makes me weary. So, anyway, that's that. The fabric is going to be a curtain. Now this other fabric, my daughter, my oldest, picked out this fabric a long time ago. It was before she had kids, I think. She picked this out, and we were designing a quilt together, and that quilt never happened. So I brought this out because I really want to do something for her, let her know that it means a lot to me. I've never made her a quilt, and one of the reasons I haven't made her a quilt is because she started me quilting. Quilting was something that my grandmother did, and then my mother kind of did some quilting, but she was more into embroidery and stuff. So I'll just show you some of the fabrics, and then I'll iron some. So this is a polka dot that's kind of going in the background, and this is a bright. I'll just do a couple of the little moon pieces with that, and I might do some of the strips with this. I'm not sure about that fabric yet. Well, this fabric, it's got the kitties on it, and it's got some bright colors, but I don't know that it goes with the rest of the fabrics that I've chosen. She's not a real fan of cats, but she likes pets. So she brought home 2 cats, and they had babies, so we had 5 cats for a while. So at that time she was really into cats. So this is another bright that will be the squares that kind of float around on the surface of the quilt. Hopefully that'll work out. It's hard to know from a drawing when you put it into quilting what's going to work out. So here's another dark. It's got little gold flecks all through it. Here's a bright green that she picked out. It kind of went with the fabric. I picked this up from my stash. It's kind of a mottled orangey green with some squares and pinks. I don't know. I think that'll work. I'm not really sure. Here's another kind of a bold fabric to go in there. And this red looks really good with, I'm going to use this for the backing. The red looks really good with this, but I don't know that it goes with the rest of the fabrics that I'm going to use in the quilt, and it's not really a bright, it won't really stand out. So maybe I'll piece that together with this to make a backing. I'm not really sure yet. Quilts kind of evolve as you work with them. You know, you do part of it and then you put it on the wall and see how it looks. This is a, let's turn this around. Has little figures kind of dancing and milling around. So she really liked that, and I want to incorporate that somewhere. And then this one has some words and encouragement and stuff. So she really needs that right now. And then this is another fabric that I found with kitties on it, but I don't think it's going to work with this quilt. It's just not quite the right coloring. So I ordered a panel that kind of goes with this, and I might just put that in a different quilt. So we'll see. I don't know. So that's the fabrics I'm working with right now in the pattern. Thought I'd show that to you. I have been thinking about a conversation topic to kind of discuss with you guys. Fibro, the biggest symptom that differentiates fibro from chronic fatigue is that the pain, the amount of pain. And us fibromites, we understand that there's a lot of different kind of pains that we experience through in dealing with this disease. You know, there's the type of pain that causes headaches. There's a type of muscle ache, a deep muscle ache that we get. There's a surface irritation of our skin, and there's the ones that are just a deep bone ache. So I wanted to talk to you about, just kind of highlight those and discuss, you know, how they affect me. You know, I experience a lot of headaches. Every day I have a headache for part of the day. It might be a major part of the day. It might be a minor part of the day. I might wake up with a headache, and then it kind of goes away, you know, by noon. But it still lingers, and then it'll come back stronger, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And there's other days that I wake up with not much of a headache at all. Now, I'm talking about headaches that are not migraines. They're not the piercing, jolting, completely overwhelming pain of a migraine. A migraine is more localized. There's usually a point that you can point to that says this is where the pain is starting, or this is where the pain lives most of the time. So that's more of a migraine. And so I get migraines still. One doctor told me to treat all of my headaches like a migraine, but I don't see the sense in that, because the medications for migraines treat migraines. They don't treat the muscle tension that causes a lot of my headaches. So that I get a lot of tension in the back of my head, down my neck, across my shoulders, and it continues to travel down my back. And that's where a lot of my headache pain comes from. It crosses my forehead and kind of makes its way back across my skull. And so I use ice at the front of my head when I have a headache, when I wake up with a headache especially. I use ice at the front of my head, and then I have a pad that has heat in it, and it goes on a chair, and you sit on it, and it's got little vibrating chips that one of them will sit on my shoulders, one is the middle of my back, and one is my lower back. And so I sit on that with ice for an hour or two, and that helps a lot. So that's my headaches, basically. The other's just the muscle aches, you know, constant, you know, it just feels constantly like I have been over-exercising, and that my muscles are sore because I've been exercising. But I don't exercise that much. You know, I do some yoga, I try and walk, I have an exercise bike. I try and fit some of that in 2 or 3 times a week. But, you know, it's hard to do when you don't have the energy. You know that if you use your energy for exercise, you won't have it for something else. So that complicates matters. So, yeah, that's what my muscle pain feels like. It feels like sore muscles. And that, you know, I just need to rest and let my muscles recuperate. But rest and stuff doesn't let my muscles recuperate. That's just the way fibro is. It just doesn't happen. The third pain that I experience a lot is kind of a surface irritation, like the bottom of my feet, especially at night when I'm trying to get to sleep. The bottom of my feet are, it's an intensely tingling kind of electrical stimulation kind of thing, you know, that sharp, it's just on the surface. It doesn't come down into the surface. And then, you know, if people touch me at certain points, that it doesn't feel like a soft touch. It feels like a prickly kind of irritation. And so the clothes might hurt, my hair might hurt, the hair on my head might hurt, the hair on my face hurts, and clothes hurt to where, you know, I have to, I live in sweats pretty much. The leggings will irritate my legs, and they cause more of a, that tingling, restless leg syndrome kind of feeling. That the leggings don't work for me because of that. Yeah, and then, you know, there's the itchiness and stuff that, I don't know if that's related to fibro or just regular skin irritation. Two of my kids have eczema, and I don't really have eczema, but I do have skin irritation. And the fourth kind of pain for me is really the most problematic because it's the most overwhelming. It's the kind of pain when it's bad. It's the kind of pain that will send me to bed. And that's the deep bone ache. It feels like my bones are twisting and breaking, and it's just that deep, deep pain. You know, it's overwhelming, and that kind will send me to bed. So that's the kind of pains I get. And it's no fun. It's a challenge every day to deal with these different kinds of pains, and there's not really pain relievers that help much. So, you know, I do take aspirin and Tylenol on a daily basis, and, you know, just usually 1 dose a day. You know, I pick the time of day when I'm in the most pain and I need to either deal with people or get things done. So that's that kind of pain. And we live with it. We get through the days, and, you know, we're grateful for every day that you know, fibro is a miserable disease, but it's not life-threatening, and if we understand that, it kind of helps to, you know, recognize, you know, it's not really damaging my body. Overall, I'm pretty healthy for a woman my age and weight, you know, and activity level. You know, I'm pretty healthy as far as that goes. So, yeah, there's a lot to be grateful for, and I am grateful. I'm grateful for all the time that I get to spend with my family and the blessings that they are. So I hope you have a good day. I hope you're feeling good. So, toodles.